Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing some speed reviews for some skincare and makeup. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts on a lot of products that I have purchased over the past couple of months. I still have a lot of stuff that I either haven't tried yet, or there's some things that maybe I only tried like once or twice, so I kind of don't know how I feel about them. But all of the stuff that I'm using today, I think that I use them enough to be able to give you guys my overall thoughts. And you probably already know how I feel about some of this stuff because you probably heard me mention it or use it or talk about it in other videos. But I have quite a bit of stuff to talk about, which is why I decided to do a speed review video for today. So y'all can let me know in the comments if you like this format or if you would prefer that I be a bit more in depth with my overall thoughts. But of course that would require the video to be a bit longer too. So y'all can let me know, what your preference is in the comments. So before we get started, if you're new here, welcome. My name is SonyaNicole. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please make sure you subscribe while you're here today and let me know in the comments that you've subscribed, because I definitely want to meet you and I definitely want to say thank you for subscribing because you would really be helping me out. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. And as always, thank you for your continued support. Okay, you guys, let's jump right into it. So before I forget to tell y'all, my very next video is going to be a tutorial on the look that I'm wearing today. I feel like I'm giving y'all like really deep fall vibes, and I really like the way that my makeup came out today. So let me know what you think. The look that I'm wearing today, this is installment number 2 of a series that I just started on my channel. It's called the, what is it called? It's called the Fall Eyeshadow Looks for 2020 series, where in each of the videos I feature an eyeshadow palette that I talked about in my favorite fall eyeshadow palettes video. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, that's going to be my next video coming out, the tutorial for what I'm wearing today. Okay, so let's jump right into the products, and we're going to start off with some skincare. Now, I actually didn't mention this first product in one of my haul videos, but I wanted to mention it today because I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is the Fourth Ray Beauty Avocado and Aloe Double Shot Serum. So this is what it looks like. This oil looking substance on the top, that's the avocado oil, and the very green stuff on the bottom is the aloe, and it also has cucumber in it. I think it has like a really fresh like cucumber scent to it, so if you don't like those scents, you're probably not gonna like this. But this is so moisturizing on the skin. I use it in between my hyaluronic acid serum and my moisturizer, and I was drawn to this because I went to ColourPop's website. In case you don't know, Fourth Ray Beauty is like the sister skincare company to ColourPop, so if you want to try this out, you would go to ColourPop's website. I went to ColourPop for something else. I think it was when I was buying the foundation, and I decided to look at their skincare, and I decided to try this out because I love avocado oil. I love it like in my hair stuff, my skin stuff. So I decided to try this out, and I just love it. The first time I got it, I only got one bottle of it because I was just trying it out for the first time. When I was running low, I kept trying to repurchase it, and it was sold out for a long time. So I'm thinking that a lot of people really like this. But when it finally got back in stock, I bought 3 of them to make sure that I don't run out this time. But yeah, I would highly recommend this stuff, especially if you love avocado or like cucumber. All you need is like a couple drops of this, and your face feels like you just put moisturizer on. I put moisturizer on top of it, but this is really, really moisturizing. I love this stuff. Okay, and next is my Cocoakind My Matcha All Over Moisture Stick. So this is like a multi-purpose moisture stick. You can use it under your eyes. You can use it kind of like, let me show y'all what the product looks like. You can use it kind of like as a spot moisturizer on your face, and you can also use this on your lips. I just use it on my under eye area. This has coconut oil, beeswax, camellia leaf powder, and matcha tea powder. moisturizer. So what I really like about this is I can just go like this on my under eye area and be done, and it leaves my under eyes feeling like really soft and moisturized. And especially like when I put it on at night, when I wake up the next morning, my under eye area looks like I just put this stuff on. So, and this was really inexpensive. It was like $9 from Ulta. So yeah, I would highly recommend this too. And the last skincare item that I want to talk about is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel Lotion SPF 50. I would highly recommend this too. This has become my new morning moisturizer. So before I started using this, I was using a moisturizer and then a sunscreen. And for the most part, I was doing pretty good with making sure to remember to put sunscreen on. But this is helpful because it's all in one. And I wanted to try this because I've heard of Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Like they have a whole line of stuff. They have cleansers, moisturizers, all of that. And I used to use the Hydro Boost Water Gel moisturizer. I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but I didn't realize that they had an SPF version of it until I saw a fellow YouTuber suggest it. So I decided to give this a try, and it will be like my ongoing morning moisturizer. Normally when I finish a moisturizer, I would go on to something else just because I happen to have a lot to go through, mainly because of what I get in my BoxyCharm subscriptions. But I feel like when I run out of this, instead of trying something else out, I'm gonna stick with this and just repurchase this because I really like this. Okay, so let's move on to some makeup, and the first thing that I have is a sponge. This is the LA Girl Beauty Sponge. I got this from Ulta and it was only $4.99, and I don't like this sponge. Number one, I don't like the size of it, so let me show you the size of it compared to my SonyaNicole sponge. I should have wet this so that y'all could see how big it is when it's wet. I can't go down the steps, y'all, I'm sorry, but take my word for it when I say when you wet this, it doesn't get all that big. It definitely doesn't get as big as a SonyaNicole sponge. Right now, while it's dry, it does feel really nice and squishy. It feels pretty much the same as the SonyaNicole sponge, but for some reason when you wet it, it just doesn't feel all that squishy. Like, I try my best to wring out as much water as I possibly can, because I remember the first time I wet it, I felt like maybe I just wasn't wringing it out as much because it just didn't feel super soft. But I tried this on 3 separate occasions. I just don't like it. Like, I don't like how small it is. It's actually okay for me to do like my under eye area, but I don't like how small it is to do the foundation on my face, and I just don't feel like it's soft enough when you wet it, so I would not recommend this one. And next, moving on to 3 foundations that I want to share with y'all. The first one is the Rare Beauty foundation. This is the Liquid Touch Weightless foundation, and this costs $29 at Sephora. If you have not tried this yet, I would recommend maybe watching like a handful of videos on this, but honestly, now that I say that, that may not even help because there's just so many mixed reviews on this foundation. Some people love it, some people hate it, and it doesn't seem to matter like what skin type you have. Like, it's just like so many mixed reviews. I mean, there's mixed reviews on everything, but this foundation, it really does seem to be kind of hit or miss depending on who's using it, unfortunately. All I can tell you is I have oily skin and I love this stuff. I was really surprised at how it held up on my oily skin. I tried it with and without a primer, and I do consider this long wearing. Like, it lasted for over 8 hours, which that amount of time is long wearing for me. And a lot of people don't like that it has a doe foot applicator. This is one of the reasons I love this foundation. I think that this applicator makes it really easy to apply the foundation because it's kind of a messy foundation, so that kind of is a downside to this. It's really thin, it's really liquidy, it has almost like an oily consistency to it, but I think that type of applicator helps with this, because if you had this type of formula in like a dropper or a pump, I think it would kind of be a bit more messy than the doe foot applicator. But I really like this, and it's $29, and I think that's a really good price, especially for a foundation at Sephora. So next foundation that I want to talk about is the Lancome Teint Ultra Wear 24-Hour Foundation. I don't really like this. foundation. Like, I'm really surprised that I don't like this. I thought I was going to fall in love with it, and I thought that this was going to be one of my new favorite foundations. It's wearable. I can put it on. I can make it work, but I'm not going to be reaching for this foundation like that. Now, I am in the shade 455 Suede C in this. So one thing I'll say about this is the shade is like a dead on match for my skin. Like, if I put it on, you really wouldn't be able to tell like where the foundation stops, because it's like literally the exact same shade as my skin. But I don't like the coverage level on this. I feel like it's like borderline medium coverage, and it's supposed to be a full coverage foundation. I felt like I had to put on a whole lot of product just to get medium coverage. It wore okay during the day, but like nothing spectacular. So I don't know, like this, I don't like this. And it was $47. Like, I definitely wouldn't recommend spending $47 on this. I got it on sale for I think $32. But if you haven't tried this foundation yet, me personally, I just wouldn't recommend it. I know that this is a very popular foundation, but for my personal taste, I don't like this. And the last foundation I want to talk about is the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I am in the shade Nutmeg in this one. This is another one that I wouldn't recommend, even though it only costs $10. So I mean, if you do decide to try it, it's a lot cheaper than the Lancome one. For me to have oily skin, so the reason I never bought this when it first came out is because it's a naturally radiant foundation. So I just thought that this was supposed to be like the dry skin, or let's say normal to dry skin version of the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, which that one is like one of my favorites. But I do have a couple other like natural, more like hydrating or like radiant looking finishes in other foundations that work on my skin for it to be oily. This one is just okay. Like, it starts to get shiny on me after like maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then some of the other foundations that I have, they just last a lot longer. This one, I'm really surprised at the shade of it too. So like I said, I'm in the shade Nutmeg, and the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, I'm in the shade Mahogany. This is probably like a second in terms of a good foundation match. It's not quite as good as that Lancome foundation, but this is like a really good matching foundation for me. This one, not so much. Like, I can make it work. When I blend it in, it looks fine, but it's not really a good shade match for me. But it's definitely the closest one that's gonna work. But just in terms of like how it wears, there's nothing special about it, you know? So even though it only costs $10, I still wouldn't recommend giving this one a try. But keep in mind, I have oily skin. You might feel differently if you have drier skin, but for oily skin, I would not recommend this. Okay, 3 concealers that I want to talk about. The first one is from Rare Beauty, and just like with the foundation, I really love the concealer too. This one also has really mixed reviews in terms of the coverage. I think it gives really good coverage. This particular shade is too light for me, so I do think I am gonna get shade 440C, which is the same as my foundation shade. So if you're familiar with how Fenty Beauty did their concealers, Rare Beauty did the same thing, in that your concealer shade is supposed to be like a brightening version of the foundation shade. So if you get 440C for both, the concealer should look a bit brighter. So I think I am gonna have to get 440C. I may end up having to mix these two together, but this shade on its own is just a little too light for me. But I love the coverage that this gives, and I love the way it blends out, so I would highly recommend that one. The next one is the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. So I knew as soon as I saw this that this was not going to be a shade that I could use, and I don't see the shade name on here. Hold on one second, let me look up the shade that I ordered. So this is in the shade Tan, and like I said, as soon as I saw it, I knew that I was going to have to mix this with another shade if I liked the concealer. But I can tell you that the coverage level on this is just really light. Like, to me, this is just not a concealer at all. I really don't understand the purpose of having a concealer if it's going to be anything less than full coverage, because if it's medium or light coverage, it's just not going to conceal anything. This just, to me, it just doesn't cover anything. I was interested in this because it's called the Bendy Avocado Concealer, and one of the ingredients in here is avocado oil. And I told y'all earlier that I love avocado in my my skin stuff. So that's why I really wanted to try this out, but it doesn't cover anything. Like it's just no, I would not recommend this one. Next up is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer, and this is becoming one of my new favorite concealers. I don't like it as much as my Too Faced concealer. This shade is just a smidge too dark for my under eye. This one is in the shade 4C. And if it was just a little bit lighter, I would like it just as much as the Too Faced one. And another thing with the Too Faced one, you just get way more product. But I am happy to have come across this because I know y'all have heard me say a million times that I feel like I'm just so limited when it comes to complexion products because everything is just the wrong undertone for me. This really works for me in terms of undertone. I just wish it was a smidge lighter, but I really like this. I think it's a nice thick creamy consistency, and just like with the Rare Beauty concealer, it blends out really nicely. So I would highly recommend that one. And next up is the Sephora Microsmooth Baked Powder Foundation, and I'm sure y'all know how I feel about this. This has become a staple in my makeup routine. So I decided to buy this on the strength of YouTuber Andrea Renee because I used to see her use this all the time. I got the shade Tan. Now this is a baked powder foundation, which I didn't know that when I bought it, but I've been using this as basically like a setting powder for everywhere except my under eye area, and I really love this stuff for that. And next is the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush. I like the color of this. I got the shade Love. This is one of the matte ones, so in case you're not familiar, this brand has both matte and dewy liquid blushes. I really wish this shade came in a dewy finish. Like, I just don't use this anymore, and I think I've only used it twice, maybe 3 times. This is just too hard for me to blend out. Like, when I do use it, I'll put, this is what the blush looks like. I'll put the blush on a flat surface, and then I'll pick it up with a sponge and I'll, you know, dab it on my cheek. I just feel like I have to like really work in speed mode to blend this stuff out. It just dries down too fast. The color is really nice, but it's just a little bit hard to work with for me. So if you're interested in trying one of their blushes, I would definitely say try the dewy one. Maybe it'll work better even if you have oily skin. I think it might be easier to blend out, and then you can just set it with a powder. This one is just too hard to blend out for me, so I wouldn't recommend the matte liquid blushes. However, the highlighters, I love this highlighter. Now I will say this one dries down kind of fast too, so you do kind of have to work with it a little fast. Not as fast as this. Like I feel like as soon as this touches my skin, it just sets. This one, it does dry down fast, but not quite as fast as that blush. But this color is just so pretty. This is the shade Mesmerize. And I love this. I will most likely go back and get another shade. I think it's called Transcend. It's like a rose goldish color. I think this one is described as a rose blush. And then that other shade that I want is rose gold. It's like a deeper version of this. I love this stuff, and you get so much product in here. I can't remember offhand how much this costs, but I'll have the price of it on the screen. I think it's $22, but you get a whole lot of product, and I just love the way it looks. It is a really natural looking highlighter, which I think that's one of the reasons why I like it. So if you like something a bit more intense, you probably wouldn't like this, or you might want to, you know, add something else to it. But this is one of the best highlighters that I've come across in a really long time. Okay, let's move on to some eye makeup. So this is the Essence 24 Ever Ink Liner. I don't know if this comes in other shades, but this one is in the shade Intense Black. And I don't like this liner because I just think it's too hard. So this is a brush tip applicator, and the applicator has absolutely no flexibility to it whatsoever. It just won't budge. So I think it's just really hard to draw with, and all I do with eyeliner is just draw a straight line. I think if you're trying to do like a wing or something like that, this is not going to work for that. And then the next product is the Rare Beauty eyeliner. This is called the this is called the Perfect Strokes eyeliner. This one is a brush tip, so this one is just a lot more flexible than the Essence one because it's like a little brush. It's like drawing with a really tiny like paintbrush. And what I really like about this is how you hold it in your hand. It feels like you're holding a writing utensil, and I think think that that makes it really easy to draw on your eyes. I personally wish that the brush was just a bit more slim. I use eyeliner to get like really close to my lash line. I don't like for my eyeliner to be all that visible because I don't have a lot of space up here anyway. So because of that, it would be easier for me if the brush were smaller, but I still really like this eyeliner. So I think y'all know how I feel about the Essence Lash Princess mascara. This is like my new favorite mascara, and it's only $5. Before I started using this, I was using Petite and Pretty like crazy, and I used to say that nothing was better than Petite and Pretty, but I feel like Essence is. So I just want to show y'all the brush really quickly. This mascara will give your lashes length and volume, and it's not clumping at all, and it's only $5. If you're looking for another mascara, especially for those of you who don't wear falsies, you have to try this mascara. It's like the best thing ever. And lastly, I have one lip product to talk about. This is the Essence Shine 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 Lip Gloss. I forgot the name of this shade, and I don't see it on the bottle anywhere. Oh, here it is. It's called Behind the Scenes. I kept calling this transparent. I didn't realize it had an actual name, but this one is called Behind the Scenes. It's just a clear one. So this is the only one that I got, and I said I'll just get clear because I can wear it over everything. And if I like it, I'll go back and get other colors. This comes in like 12 different colors, and they're only like, I think they're less than $3 each. So these are really good if you're looking for something to add like really impactful shine to your lips. This will get the job done for only $3. So since we're at the end of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this on my lips. I just want y'all to see how shiny my lips get. I'm just dabbing it on. I just don't want to rub it on because I already have to clean this applicator off. But hopefully y'all can see like how shiny my lips are, and I didn't even put on a whole lot because I just wanted to dab it on, and it smells good too. It has like a nice subtle sweet smell to it. So yeah, I would highly recommend that as well. Okay, so that was a lot of stuff, but I feel like I did really good at going through them quickly. So let me know what y'all think about all of the products. Do you have any of them? Are you thinking about getting any of them? Did you have similar experiences with any of these products? So I really hope that y'all enjoyed the video today. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave today, and make sure you let me know in the comments if you like this format of speed reviews or if you prefer like more in-depth reviews on products. So I really hope to see y'all back here for my next video. Make sure you subscribe before you leave today, but until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.